What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, I'm going to do an ultimate tips and tricks video for the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. Now, this is the 9 Pro. Basically, everything we're going to show you on the 9 Pro is pretty much on the 9. There's a few things that aren't, such as some of the display resolutions, but that's pretty much it. I mean, and maybe some camera features, but again, pretty much everything else. I'd probably say about 97% of the things I'm going to show you, you can also do on the regular OnePlus 9. So let's get into it. First thing you want to do, press and hold. And if you want to easily change your wallpapers or widgets, you just tap on wallpapers, for instance, come in here and choose the wallpaper you want, hit save, and it even gives you the preview above. You also can do shot on OnePlus, which are going to be wallpapers that other people have taken with their OnePlus phones. And you can, if you like one, like maybe you like this one, tap on it, set as wallpaper, hit allow. It even gives you a preview. You can kind of move it around if you want. When you're done, hit set wallpaper at the top and you're all done. That's that easy with it. And they even have this canvas feature as well. So you come in here, you choose the photo you want. So I'll choose my selfies. I'll choose this one right here, and you can see drag and or pinch to adjust. You can hit preview, and it does this little adjustment. You'll see it in a moment. It's creating the canvas effect, and if you hit play, you can see exactly what it's going to look like. So it gives you that kind of cool artistic effect to your wallpaper if you want to do that, if you have a photo or something that you like. But that's an easy way to change your wallpaper. Widgets are going to be these things where you can drag, like basically having an app sit on your home screen. So maybe you want your Govee Home here. So I'm just going to press and hold that and then drag it to where I want, drop it. And then from there I can control my device or whatever I had. If I had a music playlist or something like that. You can also adjust the size by pressing and holding, dragging, making it bigger, smaller. When you're done, if you don't want it, press and hold it, and you can hit remove and it is gone. Press and hold here again, go into home settings, and here there's a plethora of different settings that we can do. I like keeping add icon to home screen. What that means is when you download an app from the Google Play Store, it's automatically going to add it to your home screen. If you don't like that, just turn it off right there. Swipe down to access notifications and quick settings. So when I swipe down from basically anywhere on my screen, I don't have to go all the way up here to get my quick toggles and notifications. I can do it from right here, and that does that. If you wanted to do it something different in there, you can tap here, and you can have it bring down this shelf, which is an intelligent toolbox basically of memos, toolbars, your wallet, things like that. I think it's best with notifications and quick settings, or you can completely turn it off by unchecking enable. Google, if you turn this on, when you swipe over from here, you have your Google feed right from your home screen to read all your news and information. I love this. I keep it on. You can turn it off if you want just by unchecking that box right next to it. Double tap to lock, so you can double tap to lock your screen. As long as you double tap in a blank space on your home screen, you can say locks my screen, and I'm able to keep that unlocked, keep it locked, I should say. Layer launch out. If you are coming from an iPhone and you like to only have home screen so that everything sits on there, I'm going to hit save and I'll show you what I mean. It won't have your app launcher. As you remember, with Android, when you swipe up, you have all your apps. Here, you would just have all your apps on your home screens. Again, very akin to an iPhone. So if you love that look, you're able to go back to that look. The beauty of Android, right? So I like it having, I've had Android for a while, so I like having home screens and a drawer. So they have my home screen set up, but if I need to see all my apps, I just swipe up and I can see all my apps there. Go back in here, go into home settings. We are at the quick search gesture, swipe up and hold to search apps. If you have this turned on, which you can enable or disable it up here, you have swipe up and hold and it'll search your apps, or you can just swipe up. I like having swipe up and hold because you do it from basically over here, you press and hold, and it'll automatically bring up my search bar, and I can search for an app. Maybe I want Instagram, and it easily brings that up for me. Go back in here. You also have your notification dots. When you have that on, if you have a notification, there'll be a little dot or a number next to that specific app letting you know that you have a notification. You can change your icons. So currently I have it set to oxygen. If I want it to be hydrogen, you can click on that and it changes these little icons for all your apps. You can even get more. If you tap right here, it'll bring you to the Google Play Store and you can buy some or find free ones that you want. You can even preview them in here to see what they're going to look like. And that's an easy way to change your icons on your phone. Home screen layout, you can customize the grid size, icon sizes. So if you want your apps to be bigger, smaller, you can. So you can fit more things or less things, whatever you want. You have that ability to do that. You can also come in here and change the icon sizes if you want, bigger, smaller. And you can also hide app names, again, if you want. I'm gonna discard that because I don't want that to save. Next, let's swipe down from the top here. You have all your quick toggles. If you want to quickly go into one of these settings in here, such as Wi-Fi, just press and hold on it. It'll bring you right into it. And you can do that with any of these really, really quickly. You'll see, to go into that specific setting. Otherwise, you can just tap on these to turn them on and off. You see I turned off Wi-Fi real quick. The other thing, you do have one in here for Alexa. So if you have this set up, you can actually say, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11:03 p.m.
So you can use Alexa to, ask it questions, control your home screen, all within here. It's built directly into your OnePlus phone. If you want to rearrange these right here, just hit this pencil and you can add more if you want. Like say I wanted to add my VPN, I can press and hold it, drag it to where I want it, let go. I can also remove some of these if I want, like maybe I don't want this hotspot thing. I'm going to pull it down here and it's out of the way. You can also rearrange these. Like I said, maybe I want this to be on the first page. Just drag it over here. Wherever I'm done, let it go. And then when you're done, all you have to do is hit the back button here and it'll save the layout for the way that you set that up. Very simply, very easily as well. And then other than that, if you want to swipe up from the bottom, you have your apps here. You can quickly search at the top as well. So maybe I'm looking for Facebook. Type that in real quick. If you want to add an app from onto your home screen, just find the app that you want. Maybe I want my Be It by Bond app. Press and hold it, and then you can find it right there. If you want to uninstall an app, press and hold it, and you'll see uninstall right there. You can also do it from this screen, your app screen. Press and hold the app that you want to uninstall, and choose uninstall. Next up, if you want to do two apps at once, run two apps at once, hit your recent apps button down here and find the app that you want. Let's say I want to do the Google Play Store. Just press and hold the app, split screen, find another app you want to do. Maybe I want to do it with my settings app, and you can run two apps at once. That way, maybe you want to watch a video or stream a website or do something like that. You're able to. You can even turn it like this and it will adjust so that you can look at it in a wider screen. And that's how you can do two apps at once on your Android phone. Next, let's swipe down from the top and let's go into settings. Hit that little gear right there. Now, once you're in here, there is tons of things you can do. So at the top, if you're searching for a specific setting, you'll have a search button right here. Just tap that and you can search for anything. Maybe you're looking for VPNs. Just tap that and it'll bring up anything that has VPN in the settings. You can easily access it that way and just tap on it from there. You also have some information showing you if you have Do Not Disturb on, which I do, or telling you if your phone is muted. It's little quick things that you can turn on or off. You can log into your OnePlus account. Wi-Fi network, click in there, tap Wi-Fi. There's a couple things that I would recommend doing in here. Go towards the bottom. You're going to see Wi-Fi preferences, tap on that. And notify for public networks, turn that off because anytime you're in public, it's going to ask you if you want to connect to a public network. If it's open, like with no password, it can get very annoying. I hate seeing that, so I turn that off. Doesn't mean you can't connect to it. It just means it won't give you a notification with your notifications. Turn on Wi-Fi automatically. Turn that on as well. So what that's going to do, it's going to remember when you connect to specific Wi-Fi networks. Maybe it's at home, work, somewhere else. It's going to automatically connect to Wi-Fi if your Wi-Fi is off, and it'll also turn off your Wi-Fi for you as well when you're not in a designated area where you use Wi-Fi. So for instance, you're in the car, it'll automatically turn off your Wi-Fi, potentially saving you some better battery life. Let's go back a step here and let's go into one more back step to the main screen of settings. Let's check out Bluetooth. I don't think there's going to be anything in here real quick. Nah, not really. Let's go into display. Display has a lot. So you have adaptive brightness. If you turn that on and off, your brightness of your screen will automatically adjust depending upon if it's sunny or dark. I like keeping that on. I have it off right now just because I'm doing this video. I don't want it to adjust, but I would recommend turning it on to kind of control your battery life. Comfort tone is good too. If you're a person that you get bothered by the tone colors of your screen, if you turn this on, it'll automatically control the colors basically of your screen so that it adjusts. Maybe if it's really dark, it'll turn more yellow. Same thing with if it's light outside, really bright, it'll turn it more towards a bluish color, whitish color. Sleep. Generally, I keep it as 2 minutes. I think 2 minutes is the sweet spot. Again, I have it on 10 minutes just because I'm doing this video, but 2 minutes is the sweet spot for sleep, meaning when you don't touch your screen, it'll stay on for up to 2 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes, whatever you choose. Advanced has a lot of stuff. We're going to go into screen calibration. I like vivid. I love seeing vivid colors. If you like a more natural look because you're coming from iPhone, set it to that. Or you can even go into advanced and kind of set your own parameters of what you want your screen to look like. Again, I'm a vivid guy, so I keep it at vivid. Next, let's go into resolution. You can come in here and change the resolution if you want it to be at full HD plus, FHD plus. It'll give you a little bit more battery life, but it will lower the resolution, aka the quality of the screen. Or you can do auto power saving, where it'll automatically switch to the appropriate resolution without battery drain. You might like that better, and it'll still. So most of the time it'd be QHD plus, but I just keep it at straight up QHD plus. I'm not really that concerned with the battery life. Refresh rate, if you want your phone to feel smooth and fast, keep it out to smart 120 hertz. It'll kind of adjust itself throughout the day. If you're just staring at the picture, you don't need a picture to be 120 hertz. It'll drop it to as low as 1 hertz, but you won't really notice it. It'll automatically go back to 120 hertz when it needs to. Or if you just want it to always stand at 60 hertz, which I would not recommend, 120 hertz does feel a lot smoother and faster. Front camera display area. So if you have this little cutout for the camera and you have your clock next to it, if you want to hide that, you can tap on this and you can hide it. You can see it dropped everything down and it puts this black bar at the top, making it's a synthetic bar at the top there. But when you're on it, you can see there's now a black bar up there. It makes your screen a little bit smaller, but maybe you just won't have that big cutout there. It kind of hides that cutout for you. I'll show you when I go back to it. You can see the cutout. I like it like this. The cutout doesn't bother me at all, but if it bothers you, it's a quick way to hide it. Apps to display in full screen. If you're having an issue where some of your apps aren't showing in full screen, you can come in here and set those apps to full screen mode if you want. Next, let's go into the Hyper Touch. This basically just allows you to dramatically reduce in-game imaging displays. It improves the touch responsiveness. If you're a gamer, I would say turn it on. If you're a person who just wants the phone to feel a little bit more faster and sensitive with touching the screen, turn that on. If you don't, others turn it off. Vibrant Color Effect Pro. If you turn that on, it gives you an effect of how it really enhances the colors and makes everything really pop. I would recommend turning it on. It just looks cool. Motion graphic smoothing, it's going to make your phone feel smoother synthetically. But if you don't like that, making the screen look a little bit smooth, kind of like that soap opera effect, just turn that off. Ultra high video resolution, I turn it on. It'll work with certain apps like Snapchat and Instagram. It basically just makes the videos look a little bit better. Vision comfort, we kind of went over this a little bit earlier, but ultimately you can set a schedule if you want, and it basically makes your color temperature turn yellow, and you can control that. And again, it's usually stuff you would set for nighttime. Most people do sunrise to sunset. I would recommend that if you're a person. Basically, it blocks out those harsh blue lights in your eyes to help you sleep and not keep you up as much. Reading mode is going to allow you, if you want to put it into like this grayscale effect and remove the colors, you can do that. And if you're reading a book and stuff like that, it allows you to read the book either. Dark mode, I love this. I keep it on manual. I just like my phone being dark. You're going to get better battery life. It's going to be easier on your eyes. Otherwise, you can turn that on automatically if you want. Again, sunrise to sunset, or set a custom date time range to make your screen turn white or black. You have ambient display. This is going to be this right here. So when your phone is off, It's going to automatically show the time and date, your battery life, notifications, stuff like that. You can turn that off. You'll get better battery life if you have it off. If you do have it, let me go back in here. You can have it so that it only shows up when you pick up your phone, or if you tap the screen, it'll show it. I have it set to all day. You can set a schedule for it to show as well, or you can completely turn that off so it doesn't show anything on that main screen when you have the display off. You can also have it show what to show. So you can have the fingerprint icon show so you know where to put your fingerprint. You can have contextual information show up if you want, or you can hide that stuff. You can put a display message like, hey, you found my phone, return it to this phone number, blah, 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 or whatever you want. You can also have new notifications show or not show. And you can also have these horizon lights as well. You see the effect. You can choose different colors that'll show. Going back here, and you can change, for me, I like my font sizes to be large. So you can come in here and make it easier to read the screen if you want. You can also change the display scaling. That way it allows you to make the, the screen seem bigger, the words seem bigger. Status bar is a cool one. So battery style, I have it hidden. So like usually it'll show like a bar or something. I don't like seeing that, so I remove it because all ultimately I want is the battery percentage. So I show the battery percentage. You can show your network speed if you're using your network. You can see what your speeds are. It's kind of a little bit too techy for most people, so I'd probably recommend turning that off. Time, you can show hours, minutes, and seconds, or just show hours and minutes, or don't show the time at all. That's that right there, the clock at the top. You also have your icon manager. So if you don't want to see some of the icons at the top here, or any of them, you can turn them off. So for instance, the ones I have shown are like Wi-Fi. So if I don't care about seeing that Wi-Fi, you can see now it's gone. And I can turn that on for all of these, on or off, if I don't really care to see those. Next, let's go into, you have auto rotate screen. If you want to auto rotate it, you can turn that on or off. That basically just means when you turn it this way, it's going to go one way. If you turn it this way, it's going to go one way. It just depends on the app that you're in, really. Next, let's go to customization. Customization, I already showed you wallpapers and things like that. The clock, you can change the clock on that always on display if you want. So we'll keep it at that. I hit save. So now when the one I just chose, you'll see it'll be different now. But you can also go in here and change these accent colors. So right now, when you're going to like your settings, for instance, mine show up as purple, but maybe I want to show it as blue, or orange, purple, or darker purple, or brown, or whatever. When you're done, you just hit save. Let's go back a step, and that's what I'm talking. You see these purple, you could change the colors of that stuff. Go into sounds and vibrations, and here you can go into Dolby Atmos. I would recommend setting it to dynamic. Basically, it's going to give you better sound. It's going to enhance the sound. It's going to make it sound more full and just better overall. Dynamic will switch between you watching a movie or music, but otherwise you can set it for certain things like that. Earphone mode, if you come in here, you can automatically play something when your earphones connect, or choose the notification ringtone in the earphones, or Bluetooth absolute volume. It'll auto sync your headset and device volume when connected to Bluetooth. So you get some nice headphone controls in here. Touch vibration. So if you like feeling that haptic feedback, like when you touch your phone, it like buzz a little bit. I don't like feeling that, so I turn that off. So if you want to turn it on or off, it's right there. Buttons and gestures. Alert slider, you can come in here, and when you have it set to silent, you can also have like your media be silent if you want, and that's this little slider right here. When you pull that up, down, whatever, you can have a little bit more control of what it does. You also have double click the power button. I'd come in here. I like setting it to the camera. Otherwise, if you double press it, it'll open up Alexa, or you can have it do nothing. What that means, again, I can double press my power button from anywhere and it'll open up my camera for me. I love that. I think that's a great little feature to have. You also have press and hold the power button. You can press that. I like having it at the power button, but you can have it show your voice assistant, which is Google or Alexa or none, or just open up your internet browser.
I'm having trouble connecting to the network. Please try again a bit later.
All right. You're getting a little bit fresh, aren't you, Alexa? So yeah, So we have that set, but I like having it as the power menu. So when I press and hold it, it brings up my power menu. I can go to my emergency, power off or restart, or do my Google Pay settings, or control my home lightings and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Let's go back and go into apps and notifications. In here, I want to show you default apps. You can come in here and change your default apps if you want. So for instance, you have your assistant. If you want to change your default assistant, you can come in here, tap on it, choose the one that you want. You can also allow the assistant app to access screenshots and things like that. If you want to change your browser, if you have multiple browsers, you can come in here and change your default browser. So when you click on a link or something like that, it'll open that specific browser rather than opening up in, like, say, Chrome or something, whatever your browser is. You can change your launcher, change your phone app, your SMS app. There's tons of apps in here. You can come in here and change your default mail app. So you get a lot of control over that stuff with your default apps. Let's take a step back. Let's go into security and lock screen. And let's go into, you can change your lock screen passcode if you want, instead of having a pattern. If you want to go back and change it to like a PIN code or something like that, you can. You can also add fingerprints in here by going to fingerprint unlock. Also, when you're in here with fingerprint unlock, you can have it so that the fingerprint animation, if you want to change that effect, you can see that's what it is by default. You can change it to a ripple if you want, or a stripe, or have nothing at all. I'll change mine to a stripe. You also have smart lock. If you go into here, you can have the phone automatically unlock for certain places on your body if you want, or even a trusted device such as like a Bluetooth device. When you're in your car and it's connected to your Bluetooth audio there, your phone will automatically stay unlocked for you, or a watch or something like that. It's a cool little thing. I usually use this with trusted places and devices. You can set up your emergency rescue in here if you want. Edit the information and contacts. So like if something happens, it'll automatically send like a screenshot and like a photo and like an audio recording and send a text message to a certain person. You can also use the power button to send quick OSs. You can enable that or disable it by pressing like 3 times on the power button. For instance, it would send the SOS information if you're getting, you know, just in case you're getting attacked or you got hurt or something like that. Go back in here, we're gonna go into battery. You have reverse charging. If you turn this on or off, it allows you to put your phone face down and charge a device on the back here, another phone, some Bluetooth headphones, a watch or something like that. Very cool feature to have. If you turn that on, you just turn it on right there. You also have bedtime mode. So for sound reduction of the OnePlus Warp Wireless, basically. So Warp Wireless has fans built into it, and you can have it so that when it is at bedtime mode, it'll wirelessly charge your phone, but it just won't do it as fast because of the fact that it's gonna have the fans turned off. I wouldn't mind hearing the fans. I like hearing that kind of white noise, but you can turn that on or off and set timers for that stuff. So it's a cool little control for that. In utilities, you have parallel apps. In parallel apps, if you want to install like 2 Facebook apps, for instance, just turn that on and it's going to automatically install 2 separate Facebook apps for you, for instance, so that maybe you have a Facebook account with your family and one for your personal. You're able to, you know, download and install 2 separate Facebook apps, and you'll see it'll automatically eventually put 2 Facebook apps in here. So that you're already there. So one is orange, one's nothing on there, and again allows you to log into 2 separate Facebook accounts easily, so you can, you know, go in there and control that. So that's a very helpful feature to have parallel apps, and you have that with multiple apps in there. App locker. When you come in here, you can kind of put past locks and hide notification content for locked apps. So for instance, if I come in here and say I want to hide Amazon because I don't want my kids to use it or something like that. It's now in there. You'll see. I'm going to take a step back. So when I open up Amazon, it's going to ask me to put my code in. So I'm going to find Amazon. It's right here. And you can see it's asking for my code or my fingerprint. And now I can use it. Going back into utilities again, you have scheduled power on and off. If you want to schedule it so that your phone turns on or off, you can set schedules for that. So I'm going to do power off, set the power to time off. So like maybe I want the phone to turn off at midnight. I can do that. And you can also have it so it automatically turns on. It's just helpful to kind of refresh your phone in a way and keep it running at its best. Going back to the main screen of settings, go into system. When you're in system, you have your ability to come in here and add multiple users if you want. If you turn this on, you can add, maybe you set up an account for your kid on here, or your wife, or somebody else. If you share the phone and you don't want them to see your information, you can come in here and add an account for them. You also have, if you want to do system updates, come in here, hit system updates, check for updates, and it'll check to see if you have an update. And you can download and install it if need be. Hit the home button. If you want to close all your apps at once, hit the recent apps button, and you can hit close all, and that'll close all of your apps. Next, go into camera. In camera, if you want to switch between your different features, they're all at the bottom. Just swipe like that to go into your different features. Next, switch over to video. Hit the three dots in the top right, and you can change the frame rate, and you can go up to 120 hertz if you want, and that will give you the ability to capture kind of slow motion video or whatever. You also have your resolution. You can record in up to 8K video. Just tap on it right there. Change the aspect ratio. You can come into settings as well. And when you go into settings, let me just go back in there again. When you go into settings, some of the things that I would recommend turning on and off would be right here. Turn off shutter sound. You don't need that. It's going to make that, the photo sound when you take a photo. So if you're trying to sneak a photo of somebody, it'll turn that off. You also have shot on OnePlus watermark. I would turn that off so it doesn't show like a OnePlus logo when you're doing that. If you want to change the buttons at the bottom, right now I'm using like the old school Android buttons. Go back into settings. Sorry, I missed this earlier. Go into buttons and gestures and go into navigation bar and gestures. And right now I have it set to back, home, and recents. And you can switch the back and the recents button if you want. And you do that by tapping here, navigation bar customization. Tap swap buttons. You'll see when I do that, they swap at the bottom there. You can also do certain things. So if I long press the home button, I can bring up my search assistant, or maybe I can turn off my screen. You also can do that with double tapping action. So if I double tap the home button, I can have it bring up my search assistant or do something like that. There's like so much customization. Same thing with the recents button or the back button. Or if you want to use navigational gestures, maybe you're coming from iPhone, or you just like the navigational gestures, just tap that. And when you swipe up from the bottom, you can go home, swipe up and hold to bring up your recent apps, or swipe from the right, go back home, or swipe from the right or the left, and you can go back a step. Let's go back in here. We'll go back into settings in here. You can hide that bottom bar. You can see that little white bar at the bottom. If I want to hide that, just tap that. And I'd recommend hiding it. You don't need to see it. And then you also have, you can learn at the bottom how to do all that stuff too if you forget. And that is my tips and tricks for the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. If you have any that I missed, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you down the road.